taking another flight with PAL, this time with changes to my itinerary at the last minute. Okay.
Yung Manila Bacolod flight natin, sir, na-cancel for today.
Alright. So magko-connect na lang ako sa Cebu ng early morning.
Here, 1
Alright. Okay.
Here's the boarding ticket, sir. For Manila Cebu flight natin, can I double check your name? For Mr. Michelle Chino. For Manila Cebu 8:14 for 10 p.m. boarding.
Alright. Thank you. Sayang. Ganun ba? Not only was I surprised about the changes in my itinerary, I'm also overwhelmed to know that even some airport staff do watch my vlogs. With a request to have my photo taken with them, I somewhat felt like an important person, and it's something I very much appreciate as my travel vlogs do mean something to them.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you! Nice meeting you. Ano name mo?
Daniel, sir.
Soon after, I made my way towards Mabuhay Lounge, an exclusive area for business class passengers and elite members of their frequent flyer program, Mabuhay Miles. Even when flying economy, having an elite status gets you an access to this area, where members can relax in their quiet time away from the crowd and enjoy free sumptuous meals and drinks this lounge can offer. And while enjoying my time at the lounge, another surprise came when I was joined by subscriber Jed Fernandez, who happens to be taking the same flight as mine to Cebu. Now that's what you call an instant travel buddy. I was supposed to fly direct to Bacolod City earlier today, but because of the scheduled runway closure in this airport, I was offered to take another flight that stops for a few hours in Cebu. For me, I didn't mind as I wasn't on a rush, and this also means an extra side trip. For now, I'm on my way, also fortunate to enjoy all 3 seats just to me. Boarding took a while, and the next thing we know, we're rolling towards the runway and witnessing from my window the reason that affected my original flight schedule. Like in many domestic flights I take, snacks are served shortly after takeoff, and on this particular flight, I received pastry and water that I requested instead of coffee. It wasn't that long and we were soon descending into Cebu. Well, it's good to be back here in Cebu, and what I've noticed is that there are simply more planes here in this airport compared to the last time. And once passengers begin to disembark, I just had to ask the crew for permission to visit the flight deck so my travel buddy Jed can get souvenir photos there. Fortunately, we were allowed to do so, making this trip a memorable one for Jed. With our quick stay at the flight deck, we had a few snapshots taken by the pilot himself, who was friendly enough to also show us around. We then thanked our pilot and eventually went on to disembark.
Morning. Sir, thank you po. Thank you, ma'am. Jet, dito ka sunog sa akin. O, di ba? Ganda, no? Nice experience.
We then headed off to baggage claim to pick up Jed's luggage, and after that, we went along further where we met another subscriber and travel buddy, Joshua de la Cruz, who was waiting for us at arrivals. Since Josh lives near Mactan Cebu Airport, he chose to meet up so all three of us can hang out inside the terminal during my 3-hour layover. Soon after, it was time to part ways as I'll be continuing on to check in for my early morning flight to Bacolod. After a few goodbyes, I made my way to the counters where I was then issued another boarding pass for my connecting flight. After that, I headed to the gates, but not before I had to pass through one of Mactan Cebu Airport's innovations, an automated boarding pass validation system which verifies clearance and helps reduce long lines at security check. Once at the gates, I begin to enjoy the sights brought about by the improvements done in this airport. The once gloomy terminal is now brightly lit with vibrantly colored furnitures giving life to this once dull place. Seen here are more shops and eateries where passengers can have a wider selection of meals to choose from, with a spacious waiting area that still leave enough room for extra tables. Cebu is well known as a springboard to different islands in the Philippines, and for travelers passing through this terminal, there's a shop here where one can buy souvenir items to remind them of their island hopping adventures. After that, I head towards the Mabuhay Lounge, which just opened for the day. This is where I'll be spending some time having some light meals while waiting for my connecting flight. The Mabuhay Lounge in Mactan Cebu Airport's Terminal 1 is not as big compared to the one in Manila, but it still provides convenience to privileged passengers who have a quiet place to stay and rest away from the trouble and noise at the gates. Soon it was time to board my connecting flight, and for a short hop from Cebu to Bacolod, we're using a Q400 next-gen aircraft, with a shuttle bus taking us all the way where our plane is parked. Once there, I simply can't help take photos and videos as if I'm traveling again for the first time. I let the other passengers board first so I can spend a bit more time at the ramp and get some snapshots of our aircraft. And once inside, I just had to get a clip of the entire cabin and see what's going on from where I'm at before I settled down in my seat. Shortly after that, safety demo is performed and we started taxiing to the runway. As usual, in-flight snacks are served shortly after takeoff. Crew members would serve it soon, as flying time would only last for less than an hour. On quick flights like this, snacks such as my cinnamon bread can come in along with bottled water and with no option for coffee, as making them consumes time on short hops like this. But I don't mind. I just enjoyed my breakfast with a wonderful view of the skies and the islands below.
Airline, welcome to Bacolod. Today is the 16th of February 2019. Remain seated with your seatbelt fastened as the sudden brake will cause you to fall.
My favorite time in arriving in Bacolod are early morning flights. I'm just eager to breathe in the fresh air once I step out of the plane. If you've arrived in Bacolod the same time as I did, you know what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Oh, there. Very nice. Woo, I'm so puyat. I lack sleep.
This is Bacolod Silay Airport, and I highly recommend that you arrive here early in the morning so you can enjoy the fresh air and the serenity of the place. Now, upon arrival, I pass through baggage claim to collect my luggage, and eventually make my way to arrivals to find me a ride to the city.
Alright, this is Bacolod City Airport. And yeah, welcome myself here. Okay, so I lack sleep, so I've been up for a couple of hours na, and I really have to go. Naantok na talaga ako. Anyhow, so this concludes my travel videos. So this is what happens whenever nag-reroute ang PAL. They put you in another route, pero they'll just get you to your destination anyhow. Okay, so yeah, I gotta get myself a ride. Thank you very much for watching my travel videos. Till the next travel again. See ya.